The gaming world is full of very good games that fans want to revive. However, the reality is that the desire for sequels does not always coincide with the plans of developers and publishers. As time goes on, the hope that these desired sequels will come to fruition becomes increasingly challenging for fans. That said, we start with position number 10, The Simpsons Hit and Run. Radical Entertainment brought to life The Simpsons Hit and Run, a sequel to the much-loved Road Rage. Inspired by the dynamics of Grand Theft Auto, this game allowed fans of the series to get up to mischief while exploring a virtual Springfield. Fusing aspects of both the iconic animated series and the most popular video game franchise of that time, a product with great potential for success was created. As a result, the prospect of a third game in the series seemed imminent. Surprisingly, at one point a hit-and-run sequel was in development. However, sadly the project was cancelled when Electronic Arts acquired the exclusive rights to continue creating games for The Simpsons in 2005. Although EA released several games in the following years, none of them reached the excellence of the previous Simpsons titles developed by EA Radical. We continue with position number 9, Bully. The dynamic at the private educational institution underwent a significant change following the release of Bully by Rockstar Games in 2006. Set in the fictional town of Bulworth, the game follows the footsteps of Jimmy Hopkins, a troubled teenager abandoned at a boarding school while his mother and stepfather were enjoying a long honeymoon. Bully manages to capture teenage life in an exceptional way, allowing players to navigate through the social complexities of the academy and confront key situations, such as attending or not attending classes, dealing with school bullies, exploring romantic relationships with other students, among other experiences. Although a sequel had been anticipated, confirmed by Bully's original composer more than a decade ago, it has so far failed to materialize. This has left many wondering if we will ever return to life at Bully and the student intrigues that characterize it. We move on to position number 8, Brutal Legend. Brutal Legend's narrative and heavy metal-inspired world, along with its unique focus on action and real-time strategy, represented an unrivaled offering in the world of video games. One that was not only innovative in its time, but also remains unique to this day. Jack Black's outstanding vocal performance, combined with the inventive script and characters created by Tim Schafer, blended together seamlessly, creating a memorable experience. Many long for the chance to witness the continuation of this epic story. However, the release of Brutal Legend was mired in conflict due to the dispute between Activision and EA over publishing rights. This led to a lawsuit and forced Schafer and his studio Double Fine to part ways with Activision. Additionally, a lack of communication between EA and Double Fine led to the cancellation of the supposed sequel Greenland. The planned sequel promised a different, bigger world. At number 7, Saved Odyssey to the West. Anytime Andy Serkis joins a project that involves movement and voice acting, it's a sure sign that something extraordinary is on the way. In Saved Odyssey to the West, it marked the next chapter for Studio Ninja Theory after handling swords. Initially conceived as a CGI film with influences from Life After People and the game ICO, the result was a mix of lush and complex environments, accompanied by a captivating narrative and satisfying combat. Who doesn't love the idea of taking on mechas with a retractable metal baton? Currently, the fate of a sequel is once again in the hands of Microsoft, now that it has Ninja Theory. However, many fans would be happy with an entire game focused solely on that exciting hoverboard sequence. At number 6, Vagrant Story continues to distinguish itself with a maximum score of 92 on Metacritic, establishing itself as one of the most praised role-playing games released for the PlayStation console. Its captivating story and gameplay gave it a strong fanbase, although unfortunately the sales figures did not match the game's acclaim. Currently, 2 decades after its release, the biggest obstacles to a sequel do not seem to be financial concerns or the absence of a market for a game of this type. Rather, they are overshadowed by the overwhelming presence of most RPG franchises under the Square Enix umbrella. With titles like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and Dragon Quest, among others, the motivation to develop a sequel to Vagrant Story instead of releasing a new Final Fantasy title, it may not be enough. At number 5, The Order 1886. The Order has generated very polarized opinions. On the one hand, it stands out for its impressive visual effects, high-quality vocal performance and impressive cinematic scenes. However, these positive elements are offset by a short, forgettable plot, as well as uninspired combat sequences. Despite its flaws, the idea of an alternate season line set in London, where you take on werewolves and other monstrous creatures, is extremely appealing. Initially, this game fell short of expectations, but many would be eager to see it get another chance. In position number 4, Chrono Trigger. According to producer Hiromichi Tanaka, it's important to understand that Chrono Cross was not conceived as a direct sequel to Chrono Trigger. Rather, it was intended to explore different facets of the expansive world presented in Chrono Trigger. This perspective is reflected in the introduction of an entirely new set of characters and a noticeably different story, making it difficult to make direct comparisons between the two games. Fans' wait for a continuation of Chrono's story has been prolonged. Chrono Trigger is widely recognized as one of the best RPGs ever created and certainly deserves the chance to captivate a new generation. However, in the current context where Square Enix has numerous active and successful series, it is difficult to predict that the developer will choose to revitalize an older franchise. In position number 3, Elia Noire. Elia Noire truly set the standard for detective games, immersing players in classic but mysteriously seedy 1940s Los Angeles. The game resonated strongly with those who enjoyed taking on the role of Detective Caulfield's assistant. This third-person action game was set in an open world, featuring a twisted main story that was revealed through several individual criminal cases. Revolutionary motion capture technology allowed players to more realistically interpret suspects' expressions during crucial interviews. In addition to these innovations, players could carefully examine relevant locations for crucial clues and converse with witnesses to gather information before making final decisions in a case. Although Elia Noire's shocking ending seemed to bring the story to a close, the franchise still has plenty of room to expand. Unfortunately, there are currently no plans to do so, leaving fans the option of reliving the original adventure through its numerous reissues or immersing themselves in virtual reality. We move on to number 2, Bloodborne. Since the release of Elden Ring in February 2022, From Software's popularity has reached surprising levels. Many new fans have ventured out to explore the developer's back catalog and joined Bloodborne's vast fan club. This Soul-style game, but with unique quirks, has not only earned a special place in the hearts of fans, but is also perhaps considered the jewel in the crown of From Software. Bloodborne's haunting Victorian Gothic setting is significantly terrifying, yet alluring with secrets hidden beneath the surface. Its gameplay stands out for its fluidity and speed, compared to many Soul-style games. Features like healing health and limited blocking options will encourage players to take a more aggressive approach. Over the years, fans have expressed their fervent desire to see a sequel or even a simple remaster, but so far those requests have gone unanswered. And at number 1, Days Gone. Days Gone is one of the last games that was controversially deprived of a sequel. This exciting action-adventure game in a post-apocalyptic open world follows the intense and complicated journey of Deacon Sid John, a mercenary who travels by motorcycle in search of his missing wife, accompanied by his best friend, Buzzer. The game stood out not only for its plot, but also for the inclusion of terrifying hordes of zombies, which initially struck fear into players before they developed the skills necessary to confront them. Despite selling 9 million copies, Sony decided to reject Ben Studios' plans for a sequel. This decision generated controversy, especially because Sony was publicly celebrating another IP, the first part Ghost of Tsushima, for reaching 8 million copies sold at the time. Sadly, Days Gone joins the list of notable games that deserved a sequel, but sadly never got one. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe. See you in the next video.